Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. This is Sandi, and it is Valentine's Day today. So I hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. Joe and I never go out on Valentine's Day because it's always so busy and you don't get as good a service and you don't get as good food. So we just don't do it. We went out last night with my mom and dad. So that was great fun. But let's just, first, before we get started, let me switch over to there and let me say hi to some people that are in here. Good morning, Charmaine. And Karen couldn't stay. She's going to the doctor's. So, Karen, we're praying for you and that everything works out with that blood work. And Jeannie is here and Dale. Ann says, good morning. This is a nice surprise to catch you live this morning. And I've been doing lives at 9 o'clock on Friday mornings for several weeks now. And so that's fun. And Troy is in here. Good morning, Troy. So it's Valentine's Day. And we're going to talk about what makes you happy. I thought that was a good topic for Valentine's Day. And it's my last live of giving away hearts. So we're going to give a red one and a green one away today. They're both magnets. And so stick around and you could win Nightbot picks from people that say something in the chat. So even if you're listening and you haven't put anything in the chat, just put something because my Nightbot may pick you. And so we'll do that in just a little bit. Ann says, I'm happy to be here. Happy Valentine's Day, Sandi. And I will see you later tonight too. And Ann and I are 2 of the 4 people on Around the Hay Bell that we do Monday morning video and a Tuesday live. So that is just fun as can be. Good morning, Susan. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. So let's get started. What makes you happy? Now, happiness means different things to different people. And that may be surprising because what stimulates one person, makes them happy, gives them joy, you may not be interested in at all. So you got to surround yourself with people that like some of the things you like. They don't have to like everything you like, but something that you can have some common ground in there. And Angie's here too. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. So it's a fun day. Now, do I like flowers and chocolates on Valentine's Day? No, that's not my thing. Though I appreciate them, they're very beautiful. I would rather have a living plant, something that would last a long time. But that's just me. And other people are just thrilled when they get a dozen roses. Are you happy with family around, friends around? Sometimes people are happy with activities they do. That really fulfills them, that makes them happy. So in the chat, tell me a couple things that make you happy. And some people, they like to travel the world. And that is something that makes them happy. Some people are very homebodies. And the idea of traveling different places doesn't really appeal to them at all. Neither is right or wrong. It's just what makes you happy. Have you guys ever seen that movie? I think it was called Julia Roberts' Runaway Bride. I think what it was called. And she would always almost get married. She'd be at the altar and then she'd run away. It's a funny, silly movie, but it has some things on figuring out what makes you happy. So Jeannie says, my happy place is quilting in my sewing room. See, I love that too. Susan says, having my dogs around. See, everybody has that special thing that makes them happy. So on Valentine's Day, if possible, you should do those things that make you happy. But in this movie, Runaway Bride, I think she's left, 5, 6 men at the altar. She just couldn't do it. But why couldn't she do it? If you watch through the movie, what she learns is that every person that she fell in love with, she changed everything. What they liked, she liked. What they did, she did. And what she had to do is go through this process, which all of us have to do. Go through this process of figuring out what she actually likes. Like, so in the movie at one point, she's trying all these different kinds of eggs, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, all these different things to figure out what kind of eggs does she actually like. Anne says, being with family and friends. Awesome. Jeannie says, this AM will be making strawberry crepes and bacon for my hubby's breakfast. That sounds tasty. I mean, who doesn't like that? Except for I don't eat pork, so I wouldn't eat the bacon. Though I would eat beef bacon with it. Awesome. I should make some of that. I do like crepes. So good. But the whole idea of this movie, The Runaway Bride, is figuring out what makes us happy. So sometimes you have to step back and say, okay, these are the things I do. But are these the things in my life that actually make me happy? And sometimes they are. Sometimes they're not. Now, when you share with family and friends, not everything you guys do individually or together, everybody's going to like or find joy in. They might like it, but they might not find joy in there. So, like, I find joy in reading. I have books all over the house on both of our houses, Wyoming and in Arizona. So that if I just have a little time here, a little 5 minutes here, I'm waiting for something, I can just pick up that book and I can read it. That makes me happy. I love gardening. I find great joy in it. I find it very uplifting, miraculous. But other people, gardening would be not their cup of tea. My mother does not like gardening. My dad does, but not my mom. She doesn't want to be in the dirt. Does it make somebody right or wrong? But individually, since it's Valentine's and it's love and it's all this stuff, I thought, what makes you happy? I love a great piece of art. I love just looking at it, seeing how the brush strokes are. Some people love hiking, camping, bike riding. I think it's just one of those things that you just have to figure out for yourself individually so that perhaps you can find people around. My one girlfriend says you have to find your tribe, the people that like to do stuff that you like to do. Now, that doesn't mean that you leave the other people behind. It isn't. Because there's seasons, there's times, and just because something makes you happy doesn't mean you want to do it all day long. Jeannie says that she also loves to cook and bake. Guess I'm a homebody. See, I love being at home. I do like to travel though, but I'm always happy to come back home. Where some people, they go on a trip and then they're planning the next trip. That I don't want to do. I need that home time. I need that garden time, that time that I can quilt or I can sew or I can do my art. I do my glass. Oh, speaking of glass, let me show you something. I've been playing around in my kiln and you can put chalk like on a chalkboard inside your kiln and make glass shape different ways. So first I made this crazy thing. It kind of looks like a heart. But then I piloted it with chalk and I just let it slump again. And it made this wild, crazy shape. And I thought, these are stringers, these little skinny pieces of glass. And I thought, that could be some crazy fun stuff to do in the kiln. That made me happy. That gave me joy. But look at how textural it is. So I'm trying to figure out how I can hook it onto a board to put it in a frame so that it can attach to some points in here so that it will stay well. So that's a goal for me to figure out this weekend. But let me put this behind it. See, this is my idea. A bigger board though, to hook that on there. But do you see, it only touches in certain spots. So unless I break some of the glass, I want to figure out how to attach it so that three-dimensionally it can go into a frame. So that's my goal, to figure that out, and that will make me happy. Okay, let's give one of the hearts away. It's not quite a quarter after, but let's give the green one away. And it has green and it has red and dark. That's actually really a dark green. Might even have some flecks of dichroic in there. Ah, look who's coming in. US Freedom 5. Hello. And Cheryl is here. Good morning. So I'm about to give this away. So let me type in, and Nightbot will pick from the people of making comments. And the winner is, let me get my pen so I can write it down. Susan. Yay. Susan, you are the winner. So Susan, I am actually going to put up my email address. And if you would send that, your physical address to me, I will mail that today because I'm going to the post office today. And so let me write that. Susan won the green one. Awesome. Congratulations. Yay, yay, yay. So we're talking about what makes us happy. See? Be nice. Oh. What makes you happy? Maybe your job makes you happy. Some people have jobs that really are very fulfilling. They really like them. Something that could make you happy is helping others. That always seems to make me happy. You know, even if you're asked to do something and you're really not in the mood for it, once you get in there and you're helping people and you're serving people, it's just a joy. And so, oh, that's so sweet. Susan says, made my Valentine's Day. Yeah, but just send that over to me and I will mail that today because I'm going to the post office this afternoon. Now, yesterday, I made Marionberry pies. Every Valentine's Day down in our little park here, they have what they call pie social in the afternoon. And they ask ladies to make pies. Now, Marionberries, I do not grow at my house in Wyoming. But one of the gals lives in the Pacific Northwest. And they have access to Marionberries. And so they picked a whole bunch of them and brought them down here. They were frozen. And she gave me 2 bags of them to make these pies. I suppose because she wants to bid on those pies, but she didn't want to make them herself. So anyway, I did a video that I put up last night. And then in the crust, I made flowers and leaves and all kinds of stuff that I added to the top just for fun. So making something special for somebody else to enjoy can make me happy. Diana, good morning. Diana says that my garden and my husband, those are the things that make her happy. That's awesome. Anne says, it's kind of a new concept to think about what makes me happy because I'm happy when others are happy. Well, that's true. I think all of us are happy when our family and our friends around us are happy. But what really makes you have joy? What's one of those things that you for yourself will do something to make you be happy? And I think for a lot of us, especially, honestly, I'm just going to say a lot of women, that is a difficult thing because they find satisfaction and happiness in doing for other people. But I think there has to be some things that are just for you. And sometimes an easy way to do that. Oh, thank you, Anne. Um, a easy way to do that. Oh, maybe it's not an easy way to do that. It's it can be difficult to figure out what just makes you happy. That it's not something that's making other people happy. It's just something that makes you specifically happy. It brings you joy. It could be a hobby. It could be some people doing research and studying, reading makes them happy. And it's not something that they share. It's just something for them. Now, sometimes they do share, but it's something that's just for them. Some people, alone time, especially if you're a mom and you have all these kids and all these things and everybody's asking you to do all these different things. Sometimes an afternoon, a week that the kids go to the babysitter or they're in school, you're not doing housework. Sometimes you even got to get out of the house and it's just that time just for you. Go to a coffee shop, have a piece of pie. Just enjoy. Maybe it's that the hardest thing for us is to enjoy our own company. The silence that can be around when nobody else is around. Can that make you happy? So I just find it an interesting concept when it comes to what makes me happy, what makes you happy. Just because, not because it makes other people happy, not because you're fulfilling somebody's expectations or needs, which can be very uplifting and make you happy in that sense. But what is that one thing that makes you happy? Like, I love sewing and quilting and doing different things. But usually in the back of my mind, it is always, oh, I could show this in a show. I could give this as a gift. I could sell it at a market. But what are those things that make me just happy? It can be difficult sometimes for us. Anne says, that's crazy. I had to really search my mind for what makes me, especially me, happy. I guess I need to work on that. It can be very difficult because we're just, especially as moms, we're just used to moms and wives and members of family. We're just used to doing things to make everything work for everybody else. Now, I think that's why some people are runners, because they can separate from everything else and they're running just for that joy. Now, sometimes they're running for health reasons. That's true. But sometimes it's just that space within yourself that you don't have to worry about any of the rest of the world. Now, sometimes gardening can do that for me. I tease Joe sometimes that I say, pulling weeds is cheaper than therapy. And I say that jokingly. But sometimes it's that, you're in the garden, that space, you're pulling weeds, you're actually doing something that I can block the rest of the world out. But is there something in my life that I can do? I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to show other people. I'm going to just do it for me. Now, a lot of times reading is a great thing for me because I can block the whole world out. And I think sometimes my kids probably would go, Mom, Mom, Mom. And then I had to come back out of my book. But I think if you don't have those, you can sometimes spiral all of a sudden because things build up within you. and you're not expressing yourself and you're doing things for all kinds of other people. And sometimes it gets to that edge of explosion without you sometimes even realizing it, that something can trigger you off because you haven't spent that time every single week to do something, even if it's an hour that week, that is just something just for you. And I think people need that. I think everyone needs that. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, old, young. You have to have something in your life that makes you joyful just for you. And Nancy is in here. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Nancy, we're talking about what makes you happy. And we talked about things that can make us happy, because a lot of times we get happy for doing things for other people or with other people. Like, I love camping. I love the whole being in the outdoors. You have the fire at night. You can look at the stars, all the sounds out in the wilderness. I love that. It is just so spectacular. Now, could I go camping by myself? I could. Do I find joy of going camping with other people? I do. You just got to find those things. Find those things that make you happy that you share with others, but find those things that make you happy that you do just for you. Anne says, I mean, like you shared, I do a lot of things that I like to do, but mostly it is a gift or share or sell. I'm going to have to pay more attention. And that's what I hope this live does, is that, I don't think it's selfish at all to need that time to just do what you want to do. Like Joe, he golfs. I don't golf with him. Not that I couldn't, and I have golf clubs. That is not something that I find joyful. He's a good golfer, and I am not a good golfer. I mean, sometimes I've had my days, but for the most part, I'm not a good golfer. Joe likes to bowl. Joe is very good sports-wise. He's a very good golfer. He's a good bowler. And those things he likes. It gives him something. It gives him a joy that is for him. And so sometimes you just need to do that. I think that's a healthy thing to do. Nancy says, I like reading a good book, reading a good Bible teaching book. I love being with my family. I love being with friends from YouTube. And I do love my time at night when I spend time with Jesus. See, that is awesome. Because all of us have to have those times. And I was talking to a friend not that long ago, and she did not do anything for herself. She found lots of joy of doing things with her family. That is a fabulous thing. And I suggested that maybe once a week she just goes to a coffee shop. Bring a book if you want to, or just be a people watcher. I like watching people. We used to have a mall in Rapid City that I used to like to sit and just watch people. People are interesting. There's no benefit for anything else. I just found joy in that. So you just have to find those little things. If it's spending fun times with your family, your friends, different activities, reading, studying. There's just so many things. Hiking, camping, biking, boating, fishing, doing art, doing hobbies, gardening. But you have to be able to be okay all by yourself. Can you have that hour a week that you don't actually have to have? You don't actually have to talk to anybody. Are you happy with yourself, within yourself? And I think it's something that we have to be. And I hope that you guys get some ideas of what to do. Now, before my half-hour live is over, let's give this heart away. Okay? So, if I don't have your address, I want you to send an email today because I'm going to the post office later and I could just mail it right out to you. So let's see who Nightbot is going to pick. Let's see what Jeannie says. Even though I quilt, I love doing hand stitching, making embroidery things, usually for myself, working with wool projects. Oh, fabulous. You know, that's another thing I suggest to people, that if, you know, like a lot of us, if we do crafts or art, we're always either selling it or giving it to somebody. What are you going to do? What can you do that is actually just for you? You know, maybe you're sewing something just for you. You're painting a piece of art. And even though you could probably sell that at a gallery or to somebody, what if you just keep that art and put it on your walls and just enjoy it? And no matter how many times people say that they'd like to have it, you just keep it for yourself. Nancy says, I got the heart in the mail and I'm doing I'm going to do a video. Awesome. She's going to give it to Anastasia. That's her granddaughter. Great. She's been sewing the last couple of days. Okay, let's pick a winner. Well, I'm not picking it. Nightbot is picking it. And Anne says that she used to do rock painting. Oh, I love rock painting. That's so fun. I have a couple books on rock painting. And the winner is... Who is the winner? Nancy, you are the winner. So, Nancy, I do have yours address. So let me write that down. And I will get that mailed out. Awesome. So now you will have one for Anastasia and you will have one for yourself. Fabulous. I have a couple hearts on my refrigerator. Actually both places that some of them I've made and other ones other people have made for me. And I just keep them on there and I just love them. And it's fabulous. So what are you guys going to do for Valentine's Day? Are you going out to eat? Did you get roses? Do you have something that you like to do every year for Valentine's Day? What is the thing that you do for Valentine's Day? That's right. This one's for you. Because what do? We give things. That's just part of our nature. So in the chat, tell me things that you're doing for Valentine's Day. Is it a tradition that you go out to breakfast, you go to lunch, you go out to dinner, you go for a walk, you like down here, we have a pie social. And it is a fundraiser for our clubhouse. And Anne says that she has a nice meal at home. Yeah, see, Joe and I don't go out for Valentine's Day because it is craziness. I mean, it's romantic, the idea of going out for Valentine's Day. But when the restaurant is so busy and you just don't get the service, you don't get the quality of food that you would have. It's just a choice we make. Though there's lots of people that go out, and that's not right or wrong. Nancy says, we are just going to be home. My son is at work, but I am going to make bread today. I made bread yesterday, besides the Marionberries. And I gave my dad a loaf, my mom and dad. And then before we went out to dinner with them last night, my dad goes, that bread was good. My dad likes bread. Jeannie says, I might bake something special later, but I'm fixing a steak for dinner. Yum, yum, yum. U.S. Freedom 5. My to-do today is to get in an argument with my wife. She's laughing. You're so funny. But look at here. We're basically at 30 minutes already. I have to go over and bring my Marionberry pies down to the clubhouse. I'm going to the post office. And then I have a state master gardener meeting. We had a board meeting last week, but today is our regular state meeting with all the representatives. It's usually like 2.5 hours. It's a long meeting this afternoon. Sometimes it's 3.5 hours. Just depends on the things that we have to do and what's happening, because every county gets to talk about what's happening in their county. So it can just be a long meeting. But I hope all of you guys have a fabulous, fabulous Valentine's Day today. Tell everybody you meet happy Valentine's Day. Everybody, I will see you later, and have a great day. Find something special just for you. Bye, everybody.